When anyone comes to Wake Forest, the first thing that they recognize is that rock wall. It sort of is the landmark for Wake Forest. When I see the wall, I think of Tom Jeffries.
Tom Jeffries was born in Virginia as a slave. Around 1884, he came to Wake Forest College and was hired as a janitor.
His career may have been a janitor, but he was much more than that. He was sort of in charge of maintenance of the entire campus. He was the campus gardener. There are still trees today that Tom Jeffries planted on that campus.
Besides the 3,000 flowering trees and shrubs that Tom Jeffries was responsible for, his most remarkable achievement? This rock wall.
Almost single-handedly, he built that wall with rocks that the farmers would bring to him as they came into town for supplies. And to build it without mortar, it was a dry stack wall, so the stones had to be carefully laid.
Tom was also a mentor to the students.
And the students considered Tom to be as learned as they were. They gave him the nickname Dr. Tom. They quite well loved him. As a matter of fact, when Tom Jeffries passed away in 1927, his funeral was held in the college chapel, and the entire faculty sat as his pallbearers and carried his casket to its final resting place. That, for a black man in the Jim Crow South, was a remarkable thing.
Over the next 2 generations, Wake Forest College moved to Winston-Salem, and the knowledge of Dr. Tom Jeffries' final resting place was lost. A plaque erected by Wake Forest alumni began to serve as a memorial to Dr. Tom's life's work.
I really grew to appreciate the amount of work and effort it took to build that wall the first time. Flip them over.
A Southeastern Seminary student in the early 90s noticed Dr. Tom's work and its need for attention.
And it was in a terrible state, and to think about how much he put into that and to have it just go into ruin and be forgotten, so it was bad.
So rock by rock, Doug Buttram began to recreate Dr. Tom's wall.
Restoring his work was, in a way, restoring a part of that history and who he was. I didn't know where he was buried. The thought that his plaque out there might actually be his, in a sense, his headstone, and that this wall represent, in some ways, his grave, that makes it even that much more special.
So special, the faculty and students at Southeastern Baptist Theological Seminary erected a plaque for Doug Buttram.
In many ways, he deserved his because he put a lifetime here. I put a few years and did rebuild his wall. But at the same time, I'm not sure that was worthy of getting a plaque.
Memorials and monuments, but still no location for Dr. Tom's grave.
I was shocked, and I just yelled, "Oh my God, I found it!" I got all excited.
Ray Harris, a Wake Forest historian from Virginia, began to research African American cemeteries in the Wake Forest area.
Never expected to find it. I expected that, it's a rock or something that you wouldn't be able to determine. Never expected to be an actual gravestone with his name that said Dr. Tom.
These rocks, these trees, and now this grave. The much-loved Dr. Tom fully restored, and his life's work remains.
If you look at work like that done today and think about one man doing that by himself, that's amazing. And I think a lot more people should know about it.
It's been there for well over 100 years, and 100 years from now, it will still be there. The town and the community feels that wall as just part of its soul.